Welcome to the Two Blokes Chatting radio show on 94.7 The Pulse. Music, interviews, news and, well, Two Blokes Chatting. Now, here are the two blokes.
I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. Across the deserts bare, man. I've breathed the mountain air, man. Of travel I've had my share, man. I've been everywhere. Been to Tullamore, Seymour, Lismore, Mooloolaba, Nambour, Roochdore, Kilmore, Mooloolaba, Birdsville, Emmaville, Wallaville, Conowano, Connemara, Strathround, Proserpine, Alladala, Darwin, Gingin, Lilliquin, Muckdilla, Wallamilla, Bougainville, Cumberland, Ramakiller. I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. Across the desert.
Yeah, we still haven't cracked it for a place that's in that song. I'm sure it is in a different verse, but we're off to Ballarat today. And someone whose name rhymes with the town she lives in, Kat from Ballarat, good morning to you.
Good morning, Neil. Good morning, Robert.
Good morning, Kat. I was going to say Baddeley doesn't rhyme with Ballarat.
Yeah, it does where Rob went to school. So, Happy New Year to you. Thanks for joining us on Regional Roundup. What's going on in Ballarat?
Well, I was just saying we've got a little bit of drizzle happening at the moment, which is not good. We've got the big road cycling nationals on at the moment in Ballarat, so that's not good for the old cyclists. But yeah, the town's buzzing because obviously cyclists come from wherever they can around Australia when restrictions permitted, of course, and a major event on our calendar. So you try to avoid some of the shops if you can, if you're local. Try get in.
Yes, puts me in mind of we used to have a holiday house in the family at Phillip Island, and one ridiculous weekend we decided we'd go down there when the Grand Prix was on. Not the ideal thing to do.
No. It used to get very busy down there during that period, I would imagine.
You put a fish and chip order in, they'd say, yeah, it'll be done in 2.5 hours. And you go, okay.
Kat, we just had a little discussion about change of life with change of employment and workplaces and things. What's some things like socially in Ballarat? Are you still able to do most of the things you've done before and eat at the same places you've always eaten?
Yeah, you've just got to be mindful, which is tricky for people like my husband and I, because we like to just be spur of the moment, but you can't really do that anymore. You've got to sort of plan ahead and book ahead, and that's a bit painful because you can't just sort of get up and go, oh, let's just go for breakfast and go to your favourite joint. So, but nonetheless, you get through. If that one's not available, you try someone else. There's plenty of eating opportunities in Ballarat and surround, so there's always good places to park yourself. But yeah, look, socially, I think the thing that from a social point of view that's probably been the hardest is you got to know quite a lot of regulars at your regular place, and you kind of miss those conversations because they've sort of drifted off, or you go at different times now, and so that little chit chat that you'd have over a coffee or over a beer at the Hop Temple have kind of gone out the window a little bit, which is a bit sad.
This is the same person with whom I had breakfast and with Mark as well, just after Christmas in Ballarat, and we spent the entire breakfast period people going, oh, g'day Mark, g'day Kat, how you going? So, yes, it's still alive and well in the town of Ballarat, don't you worry about that.
Yeah. It's just a different kind of social connection now, because you kind of almost have to ask, can I hug?
Yeah.
Yeah, you kind of almost have to get that permission now. It's probably not a bad thing, I guess.
Yeah, although you didn't ask permission when you hugged me. Not that you would have been refused, you understand.
That's funny you say that, Kat, for someone who's an instinctive hugger. You've got to almost get that eye contact going, will I, won't I, and be able to read the tea leaves really well around those circumstances. And when you don't get it right, it can be a little bit awkward.
Yeah, definitely, most definitely. So, it's kind of a sad outcome of COVID in a lot of ways. But for those who are not huggers, they're probably revelling in it, but it's a bit foreign for us. So.
When I was over there the other day, over in Ballarat.
Up there?
No, over there. You go across over there. Anyway,
no, it's up.
When I was in Ballarat the other day, it didn't seem that the town had suffered a lot in terms of business closures.
Yeah, we don't. Look, it's a bit hit and miss. There's been businesses that have opened, like your hospitality businesses that have opened and they're just thriving. It doesn't seem like there's been a lot of clothing boutique shops that have closed. They seem to have survived. I think a lot of them went online. But there are some areas, like you go into the food courts in one of the central shopping areas, and there's hardly a food outlet open. So things where I guess the whole shopping centre kind of had to close, they've probably been hit the most. But where you stand alone on the street shops, they seem to be coping all right. Although with this current strain, staff shortages are a real problem. You're getting notices all the time about places having to change their business hours because they just don't have enough staff.
Well, we were just talking off air, Robert and I, while we were listening to the last song, which was Sweet Talking Woman. I hope you appreciated the choice of song with you coming on next. But the concept of smaller towns, and Ballarat clearly can't fall into that category, but a smaller town where it might be that, you've got 3 cafes, and rather than having one of them shut down, that they work out some kind of roster system where you say, okay, we'll open Monday, Tuesday, and in fact we'll even help you by employing 1 or 2 of your people for that shift just to get things through.
Yeah, no, that's true. We quite often, or once a week, drive to Clunes, which is about a 40-minute drive north of Ballarat, and it seems Clunes have done that. They're a very tiny town that's famous for their book town, and it looks like they've done that. There's about 3 cafes there, and they're alternating the days that they're open, so it's not necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah, and I think we were, I think back in the olden days, and maybe still in Adelaide to this day, they used to have Saturday mornings where they used to roster the service stations open because for the same reason, it wasn't worth opening them all. Yeah.
Sign of the times, eh?
Absolutely. We should just make sure that we've got Rob coming through on the other line there.
Oh, I'm here.
He's moved into the other studio while I've been chatting to you, you see.
Right.
We are very stealthy. Now, you've told the listener what happens now and blown my cover, but very stealthy move next door. Kat, just give us a bit of an indication about your work life, personal life. Have you got a new method of conducting your life that you think might be the new norm, or you still got this thing in your back of your mind, we'll just keep doing this, it'll get back to normal soon?
Yeah, no, I did. COVID helped me to cement my decision to retire. I retired from the workplace at the end of September last year, and I've never been busier, to say.
Yeah, that will happen when you've got 7 grandchildren. We're having 6.
Yeah, 6, almost 6 in April, yeah, so all under 2.5, so... it was kind of one of those decisions that had been bubbling away for a couple of years. Will I, won't I? But I really loved work, and then COVID hit, and I kind of went, I'm not loving work so much. I think there's more to life. There's with all the deaths and everything going on, you went, nah. I'm too old to get work and too young to not stop living. So hey, let's retire and enjoy this as much as I can.
Have you filled the gaps with family, or you sound like the sort of person to me who would get yourself falling into volunteer type roles?
I don't have time to volunteer, but you're right. I would volunteer. In 2020, I stepped down from all boards that I was on as well. I just needed to have more family time, and as Neil suggested, with all the grandkids, we've actually got the 16-month-old twins and their mum living with us at the moment, so that keeps us very busy because twin boys are all over the shop. They both go different directions.
And so is the mess they leave behind.
Yeah, exactly.
You're still good with a nappy?
I'm very good with a nappy.
Yeah, good.
She's the nanny of nappies.
Yeah, exactly. So, so it's been filled up with family, and I was just saying to Rob off air, our oldest son who lives in Ballarat and his wife and their kids look like they've got COVID, so we've just really got home from doing a shopping run for them, so and dropping at their front door, so that's no good. They've been hit pretty hard with, the Kyle and the oldest boy got hit first, and Mon and Adeline got hit overnight, so it looks like they'll be out for another week, so it's really time when you've got someone that close to you who's got COVID.
Absolutely, yes. I have a son that's got it as well. Kat, we are getting close to having to say goodbye, so I thought take this opportunity to thank you for joining us on Regional Roundup, and we'll look forward to catching up for a coffee at some stage in your town or mine, and yes, you can hug me.
Absolutely. Perfect. I look forward to great chatting with you both, and have a fabulous day.
Good on you, Kat.
Thanks,
We'll talk
Kat.
soon, hopefully.
No, okay.
All the best.
Kat Baddeley there from Ballarat on Regional Roundup